Woodford Reserve Malt. The biggest question I had when this came out was, what's a malt? I've studied whiskey, I've studied liquor all my life. I am a certified spirit specialist. However, I wasn't as familiar with American malts. So what exactly is a malt? After Prohibition ended, the United States government documented all American whiskeys under certain categories. They did one for each grain. The first was bourbon, where corn is the primary grain. Then there was rye. There were wheated whiskeys, and then malt whiskeys. They all follow the same rules. It's just whatever the primary grain is. With this, Made in America stored in new charred oak barrels, at least 51% malt, and you can only use your barrels once. You can only add spring water to it. And that's exactly what Chris Morris is doing with this release for Woodford Malt. It is 51% malt, 47% corn, and then the rest is the rye. 2% rye. And what's interesting about this is when we get to the tasting. Let's go ahead and we'll take a sip and see how it tastes. We're going to pick up our Glencairn, hold it this far away from our nose, and just as you would expect, malted barley. When we talk about grains, we talk about breads. We think about cornbread, sweetness, rye bread, spice. With malted barley, it's a nuttiness. These are baking spices coming through. There's cinnamon, there's clove, there's all these just gorgeous profiles. So much, I'm jumping in. Now, if you're a regular Woodford drinker, this is not as spicy. You have to remember, at 18% rye, Woodford comes up and you get that black pepper on the tip of your tongue. With double oak, you get those big, luscious notes. With the malt, this is an interesting one. First thing I get are those nutty qualities to it. I get lots of almond and baking spices. It slowly goes from the nuts and the almonds and mascarpone, and then it slowly gets into the sweetness of the corn. So it goes nutty, sweet, and then my favorite part of this whiskey is what I call the heartbeat. At only 2% rye, 2% rye. At the end, you get this nuttiness, sweetness, and all of a sudden, boop, you get the spice. It's delicious. Think about this one as an after-dinner drink. Think about this one with dessert. That's your Woodford Malt. Cheers.